Deep in the Egyptian desert, beneath the sand that has swallowed entire civilizations, whispers of a shocking discovery refuse to die. Some claim that hidden away in secret vaults, archaeologists uncovered something that should not exist: giant mummies far larger than any pharaoh or noble ever recorded. These towering figures, wrapped in ancient linens, were said to measure between 8 and 12 feet in height. The sheer size defies logic. How could humans of such massive proportions have lived in ancient Egypt? And more importantly, why is no one talking about it? Official records make no mention of these giants, yet rumors persist. Whispers of elongated skulls, oversized bones, and coffins too large for any normal person have circulated for decades. Some believe these beings were not of this world. Connections have been drawn to the Anunnaki, the mysterious deities of Mesopotamian mythology, often described as towering celestial beings who descended to Earth. Could the pharaohs have been in contact with something far beyond human comprehension? Many point to the strange depictions in Egyptian carvings, figures standing unnaturally tall beside their servants, gods with elongated proportions towering over mortals. Skeptics argue this is artistic exaggeration, yet these same proportions appear in depictions from Sumeria and even pre-Columbian America, cultures separated by thousands of miles, yet sharing the same imagery of towering rulers with godlike features. Coincidence or something more? Perhaps the most unsettling part of this mystery is the secrecy. Stories of uncovered giant skeletons seem to disappear. No museum exhibits, no official studies, only silence. Some theorists suggest that the implications of such a discovery would be too great. High on the walls of ancient temples, hidden in the intricate carvings of a civilization that rose from the desert thousands of years ago, are symbols that some say shouldn't be there. Strange shapes, discs, ovals, and even what appear to be modern aircraft, etched into stone long before humanity supposedly had the knowledge to build such things. Are these simple artistic choices, or do they hint at something far more mysterious? For years, strange figures in Egyptian carvings hinted at something hidden beneath the surface. Now scientists may have found proof. A recent geological scan of towering rock formations in Egypt has revealed something impossible: 3 massive humanoid skeletons embedded within the stone. Are these the remains of the celestial beings once worshipped as gods? Experts remain divided. Some claim natural erosion, while others insist this is evidence of something beyond human history. The truth is still buried. Not all pyramids stood the test of time. Some were lost to history, erased so thoroughly that even their purpose remains a mystery. The Pyramid of Djedefre, built by the son of Khufu, is one such enigma. Unlike the towering Great Pyramid, Djedefre's monument barely remains. Scattered blocks of red granite and limestone are all that's left, as if something or someone deliberately destroyed it. Official records claim erosion and stone theft reduced it to rubble, yet no other pyramid suffered this fate so completely. Why would robbers target one structure so aggressively, while others survived? Some believe it was more than a tomb. Djedefre's pyramid sat at the highest elevation of all Old Kingdom pyramids, possibly aligned with celestial bodies. Some speculate it served as an astronomical marker, or even something more advanced, a structure designed not just to honor the gods, but to connect with them. Ancient texts hint at a time when gods walked among men. Could Djedefre have attempted to build something to reach them again? If so, why was it obliterated? Was it a failed experiment? Or was it too powerful, too dangerous to be left standing? The answers may have been buried with it. Deep within the Temple of Hathor at Dendera, carved into the stone walls, lies an image unlike any other. It depicts figures holding what appear to be giant bulbs, each containing a winding filament-like structure. To modern eyes, it looks unmistakably like an ancient light bulb. Egyptologists claim it represents a mythological symbol, the serpent emerging from a lotus flower, a creation story rather than a blueprint. But others aren't convinced. The resemblance to modern electrical technology is too precise to ignore. Some argue the temple's underground chambers, devoid of soot or smoke, suggest artificial lighting was used. No evidence of traditional torches or oil lamps exists in these tight, air-restricted spaces. So how did the builders see in the dark? The Baghdad battery, a clay jar capable of generating an electric charge, proves that ancient civilizations understood electricity. Could the Dendera carvings be a clue to something even greater? If the Egyptians had access to a form of lighting lost to time, where did this knowledge come from? And why was it abandoned? Perhaps another mystery, worn by time and sand, holds the answer. A monument so old it challenges everything we know about Egyptian history, the Sphinx. The Great Sphinx of Giza stands as one of the most recognizable monuments in the world, yet its origins remain shrouded in mystery. Carved from a single block of limestone, the Sphinx has been weathered by time, but not in the way one might expect. Unlike the surrounding pyramids, its body is deeply scarred by what appears to be water erosion. Vertical grooves and smoothed edges suggest it was exposed to heavy rainfall for an extended period. But here's the problem. Egypt hasn't seen such rainfall for thousands of years. Mainstream archaeology places the Sphinx's construction around 2500 BCE during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre. Yet geological evidence suggests it could be far older, dating back to a time when Egypt was lush and fertile, possibly as far back as 10,000 BCE. If true, that would mean the Sphinx predates not only the pyramids, but also Egyptian civilization itself. Who built it? What purpose did it serve? And if an advanced society existed before the known pharaohs, why is there no trace of them left? Some believe the Sphinx was originally much different from the weathered figure we see today. Could it have once held inscriptions lost to the elements that told its true story? Some even speculate it once had a doorway leading to an underground chamber, one that still remains undiscovered. The Sphinx has kept its secrets for millennia, but it's not the only enigma lurking beneath the sands. A few miles away, a different kind of mystery lies buried, one of impossible engineering. Hidden beneath the desert, in the dark corridors of the Serapeum of Saqqara, are some of the strangest relics of ancient Egypt. Colossal black granite sarcophagi, each weighing between 60 and 70 tons, rest in perfectly carved niches within underground tunnels. Their lids alone weigh 15 tons, too heavy for simple pulleys or manpower to have lifted them into place. The real mystery, however, is not just their size but their precision. The interiors of these sarcophagi are polished to a mirror-like finish, with sharp, flawless angles that even modern machinery would struggle to replicate. The measurements are so exact that the lids create an almost airtight seal when closed. How did the ancient Egyptians achieve such perfection? Some theorists suggest these were not burial chambers at all, but containment units, designed to hold something far more dangerous than the sacred bulls they are officially associated with. Even stranger is the fact that no remains were ever found inside them. What were they meant to contain? And why were they built with such extreme accuracy? Could they have been designed to preserve something of immense power or to keep something locked away? Questions like these continue to baffle researchers, but the Serapeum isn't the only Egyptian site that refuses to give up its secrets. Further south, a different kind of pyramid defies explanation, one that seems to have been abandoned for reasons no one can agree on. Unlike the smooth, towering pyramids of Giza, the Black Pyramid of Dashur is a crumbling ruin, a structure that seems almost as if it was never meant to survive. Built during the reign of Pharaoh Amenemhat III, this pyramid was unique for its construction, using a clay brick core instead of solid stone. Over time, it collapsed under its own weight, but some believe something else was responsible for its destruction. Strange stories have circulated about the pyramid for years. Some explorers reported unusual energy readings near its ruins. Others claimed to hear low-frequency hums or feel a strange pressure in the air. A few have even spoken of compasses spinning uncontrollably when placed near certain sections of the site. Could it be that something inside the pyramid was emitting electromagnetic interference? Another unsettling detail is the unusual layout of its internal chambers. Unlike most pyramids, which have a single burial chamber, the Black Pyramid contains a complex network of tunnels, as if designed to confuse or trap anyone trying to navigate it. Was this an elaborate security measure, or did the builders fear something escaping? Some researchers believe it may have been used for ritualistic purposes, possibly involving unknown forces the ancients sought to control. No pharaoh was ever officially buried in the Black Pyramid. Its secrets remain locked within its decaying walls, lost to history. Among the most unsettling finds in Egypt are skulls that simply do not look human. Elongated, smooth, and strangely symmetrical, these skulls have puzzled researchers for years. Some were found in royal tombs, others in hidden burial sites far from the grandeur of the pyramids. What makes them truly mysterious is that they don't appear to be the result of natural human variation. Some archaeologists argue these skulls are the result of cranial deformation, a practice where the heads of infants were bound to elongate their shape. But this raises an even bigger question: why did ancient Egyptians do this? Were they trying to mimic something or someone they had seen? Depictions of pharaohs, particularly during the reign of Akhenaten, show strangely elongated heads and slim, almost otherworldly bodies. Was this merely an artistic style, or did it reflect a genetic reality? Then there's the matter of unclassified skulls, ones that have surfaced in private collections or were briefly mentioned in early 20th century excavation reports before vanishing from public discussion. Some claim these skulls contain larger than normal cranial capacity, suggesting a brain structure different from modern humans. Could these remains belong to an unknown species, a lost race, or, as some believe, visitors from beyond our world? If the answer lies buried in Egypt, it wouldn't be the first time a shocking discovery has been hidden underground. Some believe one of the country's most famous gods was more than just a myth, and that his tomb holds a truth too incredible to accept. Beneath the sands of Giza, where the Great Pyramid looms over the desert, lies a tomb unlike any other. Carved deep into the bedrock, filled with flooded chambers and massive sarcophagi, this site has been linked to one of Egypt's most mysterious gods, Osiris, the ruler of the underworld. The so-called Tomb of Osiris was first explored in the 1990s when researchers uncovered a series of shafts leading to a subterranean complex. The deepest level contained a central island surrounded by water, where a large sarcophagus rested. But here's where things get strange: no remains were ever found inside. The tomb was designed for someone, or something, of immense importance, yet it appeared to have never been used. Some theorists believe this wasn't just a burial site. Ancient Egyptian texts describe Osiris as a god who traveled between worlds. His tomb, according to these theories, wasn't meant for a body, it was a gateway. The presence of water-filled chambers could hint at an advanced process, possibly using electromagnetic energy to open some kind of passage. To where? That's where speculation runs wild. Some say an entrance to another realm, while others claim it was a technology lost to time, a device meant to connect with beings beyond Earth. If Osiris was truly more than legend, then who or what was he? And if his tomb was designed as a portal, what did the ancients expect to find on the other side? Perhaps the answer lies in the gods themselves. Because if Osiris wasn't just a deity, what if none of them were? For thousands of years, the gods of Egypt were worshipped as divine rulers, beings of immense power who guided humanity. But what if they weren't gods at all? What if these celestial figures were real, physical beings, ones who came not from the heavens but from the stars? Many depictions of Egyptian gods show them with inhuman features, elongated skulls, enormous eyes, and slender bodies. The god Thoth, for example, was said to have brought knowledge to mankind and is often depicted with a strange bird-like head. Some believe this is symbolic, but what if it was literal? What if Thoth, Osiris, and others weren't representations of deities, but of actual beings that once walked among the ancient Egyptians? Hieroglyphs describe gods descending from the sky, arriving in flaming boats or floating discs. Inscriptions inside temples speak of rulers communing with those from the stars. Even the pharaohs themselves were said to be living gods, ruling with divine right because of their connection to these celestial beings. Was it merely mythology, or did they possess something truly beyond human? The idea may sound extreme, but Egypt's mysteries have always pushed the limits of explanation. What if the pyramids, the Sphinx, and even the stories of the gods all point to the same truth? That the civilization of ancient Egypt didn't just rise from the sands. It may have been guided by something far older, far greater, and far more alien than we ever imagined. Deep inside the temple of Seti I in Abydos, an ancient puzzle waits to be solved. Among the elaborate reliefs that decorate the walls, there is something that stands apart from the rest, a carving that resembles a celestial map. Unlike traditional Egyptian star charts which align with familiar constellations, this one seems to depict something far more mysterious. The exact purpose of this map is unknown. Some researchers claim it marks the locations of sacred sites on Earth, but others believe it could be something far bigger, a record of otherworldly locations. The Egyptians were master astronomers, tracking the stars with stunning accuracy. But did they chart only what they saw from Earth? Or could this map be a remnant of knowledge given to them by visitors from the sky? Some theorists suggest the Duat, the Egyptian underworld, was not a metaphor for death, but a description of another realm entirely, perhaps one that exists beyond our solar system. Ancient texts describe gods traveling between worlds, passing through gates of fire and void. Were these poetic visions of the afterlife, Or was the Temple of Seti I trying to preserve information about celestial visitors? If this was knowledge once possessed by the ancients, then why was it hidden? And why, over time, did Egypt's understanding of the cosmos become more mythological and less scientific? Some believe the answer lies not in what the Egyptians built, but in what they abandoned, structures that defy explanation, hinting at lost knowledge. Unlike the smooth, imposing Great Pyramid of Giza, the bent Pyramid of Dahshur looks wrong. Its lower half rises at a steep angle, but midway up, the slope dramatically shifts, giving it a distinct bent shape. Official explanations claim this was a construction error. Builders realized midway that the angle was too steep and adjusted to prevent collapse. But some researchers believe there's more to the story. Why would the most advanced builders of the time make such a miscalculation? And why does the pyramid remain structurally intact despite this supposed error? Some theorists suggest the bent pyramid wasn't a failure, it was deliberate. Could the shape have hidden mathematical or astronomical significance? Some claim it aligns with certain star patterns or energy points on Earth. Even more strangely, the bent pyramid has two internal chambers, an unusual design as most pyramids have only one. Why was this necessary? Some speculate this pyramid served an entirely different function from other royal tombs. Perhaps it was meant to channel energy or even act as a gateway, similar to what is described in the Temple of Seti I. And yet this pyramid was abandoned. Why? What did the builders discover that made them walk away from it forever? Some believe the secret of the bent pyramid is connected to an even stranger mystery, one locked within the DNA of Egypt's ancient rulers. For years, rumors have circulated about DNA tests conducted on royal Egyptian mummies, tests that revealed something shocking. Officially, the results of many such studies remain vague, but some whispers suggest the tests uncovered genetic markers that do not match any known human lineage. The speculation began when scientists studied the remains of Tutankhamun. His body exhibited numerous genetic anomalies, elongated skull, unusually large eye sockets, and abnormalities in his bone structure. Some claimed this was due to royal inbreeding, but others weren't convinced. Could it be evidence of something else entirely? Ancient Egyptian texts describe the pharaohs as having divine blood, a lineage granted by the gods. What if this wasn't mythology? What if it was literal? If a non-human influence did exist in the Egyptian ruling class, it would explain why pharaohs were depicted with elongated heads and exaggerated features. Were they truly human? Or were they descendants of something far more mysterious? Mainstream science dismisses these claims as fantasy, yet genetic research on mummies remains a highly controlled field. Why are certain results never released to the public? If something truly unexplainable was found, would the world ever be allowed to know? Perhaps this isn't just about DNA. Perhaps the proof of an ancient advanced civilization or even visitors from beyond is not in the pharaohs themselves, but in the artifacts buried with them. Buried deep within certain ancient tombs, small metallic spheres have been found, objects that have no clear purpose and, more importantly, shouldn't exist in ancient Egypt. They are perfectly round, precisely balanced, and made of materials that were supposedly impossible to work with using tools from that era. Some of these spheres appear to be composed of unknown alloys, while others exhibit an extraordinary resistance to corrosion, far beyond what should be possible with the metallurgy of ancient Egypt. This has led to speculation that these were not created by human hands at all, but were either remnants of lost technology or even artifacts gifted to the Egyptians by something beyond our understanding. Even stranger, certain chambers where these spheres were found have been linked to unexplained electromagnetic anomalies. Some researchers claim that in the presence of electronic equipment, unusual interference patterns have been detected. Could these objects have once been part of a forgotten power source? Or perhaps they served a more complex purpose, one we still don't have the knowledge to decipher? Discovered in 1898 inside a tomb in Saqqara, a small wooden figurine has baffled researchers for over a century. It resembles a bird, yet its wings are perfectly straight, unlike any known depiction of birds in ancient Egyptian art. Even more bizarre, it lacks the detailed feathers typically seen in such carvings. Instead, it has a sleek aerodynamic shape, eerily similar to a modern glider. Official explanations suggest it was a simple toy or a ceremonial artifact. But some believe it was something more, a scale model of an actual flying device. When replicas of the Saqqara bird were tested in wind tunnels, they demonstrated unexpected lift and stability, just like an early aircraft. Did the ancient Egyptians understand aerodynamics? Or were they inspired by something they saw in the sky? If this figurine was based on real technology, where did that knowledge go? Was it lost over time, or was it never meant to be remembered? Egypt holds many secrets, but some refuse to stay buried. Perhaps, even after millennia, the sky is still calling. That's about it. Write in the comments which find impressed you the most. For more useful information, watch other videos.